When he talks about especially immigration control and the border, he doesn't care what people think.
Unchoreographed.
He is honest.
I like his roughness and little Reagan-esque.
He's not a politician.
He's not going to be, like he said, I won't be bought off.
Trump is a threat.
Yep.
Because he doesn't fit in the same box all the other Republicans are in.
A New Hampshire focus group of Republican voters on MSNBC earlier today explaining why they like Donald Trump for president. Their sentiments seem to be echoed nationwide as Trump continues to surge in the latest polls. For example, take a look at the polling from Reuters. He's got almost 25%, double digits over Jeb Bush, checking in at 12%, then Scott Walker at 9%, and then, interestingly enough, a category 8.5% for those who would not vote. But according to a new Quinnipiac University poll, in the general election, Trump does not exactly sparkle when matched up against self-declared socialist, and now I guess socialist Democrat, Bernie Sanders. Look at these numbers. 45% for Bernie, 37% for Trump. So what does this mean to Trump's campaign and the overall campaign? For more, let's welcome in our panel. From Newsmax Washington, we have Dean Petrone, the Vice President of Go Big Media, and joining us from the Newsmax newsroom, Noelle Nikpour, political commentator and author of the book, Branding America. So, Noelle, you heard the numbers and you heard the praise from the focus group there in New Hampshire. Are we in a situation where likely voters are just tired of the, quote, political class?
Yeah, I think that's what, his appeal is. And number one, you've got to realize that people are viewing him as the non-political messiah, somebody that's come on to the scene, that's not afraid to take care of business. Look at his brand. And his brand on his show, he is not afraid to sit down and say, you're fired, which is really hard. And a lot of CEOs and bosses know that's pretty hard to do. And he's not afraid to stick it out there and say whatever is on his mind. And I think that that's why a lot of people, this is really resonating with a lot of people. That's why his poll numbers are so up, because people are disgusted with government.
Dean, your take from Washington, D.C. What do you think this means not only to the Trump brand, but to the Republican brand?
Sure. Well, Trump has obviously hit a chord with a faction of the GOP primary electorate, but it's not a question of if he'll falter. It's a question of more so how much of the Republican brand will he hurt when he does fall. And make no mistake, that fall will come. I think it's one of two things that will eventually hurt the brand. The first being that the rhetoric Trump's using to win over that faction of the GOP primary electorate is absolutely torpedoing him with independents and swing voters, which is what you saw there in the Quinnipiac poll. You alluded to him losing narrowly to Bernie Sanders, but he's getting absolutely crushed by Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton. And even more telling of that is in the national general election, Trump has his favorables are underwater 32%.
Well,
we're points, which
yeah, I can understand the cautionary note, but at times leaders are polarizing figures, and some would say it's early yet in the campaign. Let's get back to Republican politics. The real surprise, I think, comes from Florida. Check out stpetepolls.org. Here's the way it looks in Florida. Trump on top, 26%. Jeb Bush 6 points behind, then uncertain checks in next. Even Scott Walker beating Marco Rubio, so it looks like Rubio is falling fast. Trump beating both Florida Republicans. Now, Jeb has counseled everybody, they need to be nicer, they need to be more diplomatic. So I don't expect him to emulate Trump. Noelle, do you think Rubio will try to get a little bit of this Trump action for himself to rise up in the polls?
He may. It seems like what people are wanting to hear are some really outlandish comments, because that's getting a lot of earned media. Think how much earned media Trump has gotten. If you guys think about it, he has been in the news every day with things he has been saying. That's a lot of earned media. He's a billionaire, but he's getting a lot of earned media. So you've got to think about that. And another thing of it is, he is a funder. That means he can say whatever he wants. He doesn't have to worry about, ticking off any of the donors or being PC.
Well, it's interesting, Noelle, you mentioned earned media, basically free media.
Yeah.
Donald Trump on CNN about immigration. Let's listen to what he had to say, and then, Dean, I'll get your take on it.
I love our country, but sometimes it's jobs that a citizen of the United States doesn't want to do. I mean, there are jobs that a lot of people don't want to do. I want to move them out, and we're going to move them back in and let them be legal, but they have to be in here legally.
When you say legal, do you mean legal status, or can they be eligible for citizenship?
Legal status.
No citizenship.
No citizenship.
Now, I hear that, Dean. That sounds a lot like what Mike Pence used to say back when we battled on this issue in Congress. Is this something, the more specifics, it'll create problems for Donald Trump? 20 seconds, Dean.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's sort of the rhetoric he's riding to the bank. And Noelle's right. This earned media he's seeing is tenfold to whatever any other Republican candidate out there. And, the press loves to hate on Donald Trump, but it's a double-sided sword there. A lot of clickbait, a lot of television viewers love to watch in and turn into the entertainment that Donald Trump is. He's a reality TV star.
We'll have to leave it there. Dean, Noelle, thank you both for your time. Donald Trump remains at the top of GOP polls. Critics say he doesn't have a plan, but he's written a book that offers his plan. It's entitled Time to Get Tough. It outlines Donald's plans to roll back Obama's policies, secure the border, deal with China, terrorism, and much more. Newsmax has an offer for you to get that book for free. Go to newsmax.com/Trump book and get your copy today.